honestly, like when I started it, I didn't think this would be my thing. Even with the jock and still to this day, people say I'm not credible. But it's like how when I'm always proving that I'm credible.
Because I never knew there was a link between what happened with Peso Peso and Sauce Walka. When remember the storyline of like Sauce Walka just starts claiming like, oh, somebody just got killed because they tried to take my jewelry or whatever, and we're all freaking out like Sauce Walka fucking shot somebody on Hollywood Boulevard. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
And then it comes out like, oh, it wasn't him. And then we're all like, oh, all right, cool. Like, it wasn't him. It was somebody he was with or whatever. And then through your videos, I'm like, that Peso Peso was the trigger man? That's what you're saying?
He was the trigger man, allegedly.
Allegedly. So he hasn't been charged with that or anything?
No, it was self-defense.
No, she was the first one to say it.
Okay.
That shit ain't even been, you feel me?
It hasn't been confirmed.
That he was arrested and let off on self-defense?
I just knew that he was the one. I can't remember the details. I'm sorry, but I just know for sure it was allegedly him. But
you're saying that situation then like flicking the first domino, that leads to the situation in which EBK Young Jock robbed Peso Peso?
No, those are two separate incidents.
Oh, okay.
EBK Young Jock just did it on his own. I was basically giving like, because I didn't know who Peso Peso was.
Right, which I thought was so cute that you're like so tuned in with Northern California that you don't know about any other rappers.
I don't even know. So when people were like, Peso Peso, I'm like, who is Peso Peso? I've never heard of this guy. So I'm trying to do my homework, and then I have to start like hitting my resources, like my little friends. And I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? And then I start hearing little bits and pieces in the industry. And I'm like, oh, he's somebody? Like, I didn't think he was a somebody. And then I was like, I'm going to sit on this story. So I sat on it.
Shit in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think he was anybody.
And you made me realize, because there's one song by, I sent it to Suspect earlier. There's one song that I've listened to like a trillion fucking times called Moving Too Fast by Peso Peso and Sauce Walka. And there's part of the song where Peso Peso says, you trying to take my shit, like you can have it, but you gonna start a war. And it always like stood out to me that was an interesting lyric, because most rappers would never acknowledge that there would be ever a situation in which they would get their jewelry taken. But that lyric kind of mirrors exactly what you're
with EBK Young
describing.
Jock. Yeah, no, but you know what's very ironic with rappers? They kind of like predict what's gonna happen to them.
Okay, and it could have been that too. It could have been that.
No, because I think that song was about a week or two. I think it was already recorded, but I had just like. And I was like, look how ironic this is that Jock ended up. But Jock won't admit it. I don't know why.
Won't admit that he took his shit?
Yeah.
But wait, so you're saying that Peso Peso and EBK Young Jock somehow were just mud buddies just out here drinking lean together?
Yeah.
That's how niggas be.
No,
for
that's
sure.
true.
You know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
When I used to see Dolph and Key Glock together, that really stood out to me. I was like, oh, y'all are out here just loving this shit together. And then when Dolph passed, when Key Glock finally put out a statement, that was one of the things he said was like, you were my brother, you were my lean partner. And I'm like, oh man, like y'all really bonded through that shit. Which
that's syrup.
Yeah, man.
That
especially
juice.
When you live in a place and somebody else is coming, touching down, now you're their connection to a certain area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when he's coming out here to LA, this is probably who you functioning with. He got the drink. He coming to your spot, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You moving around with him because you here with him. He live here. So easily, niggas are bond over some drink, and now they just hire.
But so your perspective is that EBK Young Jock is just so shisty that he just decided to rob Peso as soon as he fell asleep?
Well, that's what happened. At first, I heard that he like whipped out on him, but that's not what happened. I heard he fell asleep.
Right.
So that's why Jock's saying he didn't do it, because Peso doesn't know. That's why they still follow each other. So, like, I think, like, yeah, like, so when he fell asleep, I think, like, well, this is what happened. He fell asleep. They took his stuff. I think it was, like, $50,000, a Rolex, and a Cuban link. And I guess when he woke up, you know, Jock was just acting like he didn't know what happened.
Oh, so he took the shit, had somebody else leave with it, and then stayed there? Or they, like, talk on the phone, and Jock is like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, interesting.
And so the next day, Peso was in LA. Like, he posted like a pic. I'm so mad I didn't screenshot. He posted a picture and he's like covering his face, but he doesn't have his jewelry on. And then Jock later on that day, he's not posting anything. And then Jock posts like the chain, but it's kind of blurred. No, he's on live, and I screenshot the live. And then like later on that day, they have like a lot of money on the table, and it was like a lot of juice. But Peso Peso's nowhere to be found. And then Peso Peso posts to his Instagram doing story promos and features. And I was like, I'm gonna just sit on this.
Right. That's a crazy move to bust just because that kind of fucks up your credibility forever. Like for me, that would 100% like if I was like gonna just hang out with Young Jock, I would be like, wow, I'm gonna really keep an eye on this motherfucker. I'm definitely not trying to leave anything out around this dude if he's willing to bust a move like that. Allegedly.
Yeah, this is wild work.
But your villain origin story for this, which that's what I like, is that you kind of put all the pieces together, made it real comprehensive. But you're saying that because Young Jock got his jewelry taken on Figueroa out here, that basically turned him into this fucking psycho who wanted to stand on business and just jack random people.
Turned him into a menace to society in LA.
That's your theory.
This is not the first victim.
Right.
This is just the first victim that I covered.
Did you see my Hit a J3 interview where he made a, oh, wow. I don't even really want to repeat it, but he basically said, like, when I was asking him why he would even have had any kind of animosity towards EBK and Young Jock, he basically alleged that he was, like, pimping a minor at one point, and that's how that situation unfolded.
I don't know if it was EBK Young Jock, but EBK Trey B for sure.
Okay.
Has been pimping a minor since she was 13.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. And
So
she's
you're-
on Fig right now, and she's 17.
Jeez.
Let's just talk about it. But okay, but now as far as EBK Young Jock, he's young, so I don't. No, it wasn't EBK Young Jock. It was EBK Trey B, but they're like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Trey B up here to defend this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Trey B up
Anyone
here.
discussed in this, feel free. Hit me up. We can hop on stream or FaceTime.
Facts.
If you're not in LA, it's all good. We will give you your platform in which to discuss
You
any
can-
of these allegations made by this young lady.
Facts. You gotta be able to dispute your claim. Come to court.
Yeah.
Huh?
Come to court. Let's bring it to the people.
So,
Okay.
well, I mean, you're right though that like pimping a minor sounds like the worst thing you ever heard, but then
They're
he
super
was
young.
so young that
Yeah.
it was just like a girl that was like almost the same age as him. I guess that seems
Facts.
way
If you
different.
like
that's what I'm
18,
saying.
17, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna judge that as
I can't
harshly,
judge
yeah.
that. So
Facts.
EBK Young Jock is like only 23. He's
Oh.
only been in the game. What? Briss passed away. 2020? Like 4 years. Like
And that was like 2, 3, maybe 2 years ago or whatever.
he's a
maybe.
kid.
Actually, it wasn't that long ago, wasn't it? I don't know. But
But he was a kid. So it's like, how old was the girl? 17, 18? Like,
I don't know. That was just what J3 said. I had never heard that alleged before.
Now, EBK Trey B, definitely. He was a statement away from being on the National Registry. That's a fact.
Whoa. Okay. Have you heard from somebody like Young Jock at all? Does he tap in and tell you like shut the fuck up or what?
Well, no, he doesn't say that. He's not going to say
Do
that.
anybody get in your DM and be like, bitch, you need
All
to
the
stop talking?
rappers, every rapper, all the rappers, all of them.
And what's the tone? Is it usually like, yo, I'm gonna
It's
kill
not
you, or is
disrespectful.
it's just like, wow, like you're
It's not
really doing this
disrespectful.
shit.
So
Yeah.
ain't nobody came at you crazy
No.
over the videos yet.
Absolutely not. No, honestly, like, no.
Mm.
I think they want me to like hear their side of the story.
Mm.
Like EBK Young Jock has reached out, Big Sad reached out, Mozzie reached out. Well, Mozzie reached out through Davo, but
Yeah, Mozzie don't want to get screenshotted by you.
oh yeah, no. But I don't really screenshot though. I only had screenshotted Davo's messages because like I was it was a different story.